Hi, Mark here. Someone asked me to show how web browsing on this device actually works and show a comparison of speeds between the Nexus 7 and the ARCHOS Gamepad. And in some things this is actually speedier than the Nexus 7, which is interesting. It has a faster processor speed, so that may have something to do with it, but it also has a different type of processor. So I ran Geekbench number 2 on it, so you can actually have some numbers to compare. Yeah, I used this camera on a tripod, and I'm not sure if the numbers will come out correctly and show up in a visible form, but I also did some narration over the little clip. So I hope you guys will have, some sense of the speed. With this device, actually you can coax some more emulation speed out of it by actually letting the emulators run full screen. The standard setting is with a 4:3 resolution, but that somehow takes more processing power. Have the linear filtering turned off, just have it blocky, then it will run a bit faster. And still they need to fix these buttons, so let's go take a look at the clip. Hi, welcome to another episode or another video on the ARCHOS gaming device. Someone wanted to see the browser experience on the Android, and also I wanted to see some speed tests. So let's go check out the browser. Well, as you can see, it goes. It's functioning rather well. Let me see. Let's go to a website, Armchair Arcade. It's a Drupal website. And you'll see, the browsing, the website loads pretty quickly. This actually has a lot of Flash contents in between in the page. As you can see, scrolling through a website goes rather quickly, including zooming in and out. And as you can see here, you have the ARCHOS gamepad review and stuff. So browsing is rather quickly, and you can see all sorts of scripts also run. Another one that probably works well, joystick. Another gaming website. Let me see. Click. So this is the built-in browser, but it gives you an idea how fast pages load. So it's not as fast as the desktop, but you can see it takes a while for the pages to load. But yeah, and it is very responsive. So web browsing with the built-in browser works pretty good. Then we also have the Chrome browser, and of course I can do the same. Joystick. Go to the joystick page. Joystick. Oh yeah, it has to finish loading, and then click. There we go. So perhaps that actually loads even a bit faster. It loads the text earlier than quicker than but look, you see quite a few misswipes, and it starts to select stuff. So I think the built-in browser is quicker than a tad quicker than the original. But for browsing, this device works very adequately. And yeah, of course, YouTube embedded YouTube clips, they do take their time to load, and you can see that for a bit it's not as responsive, and you have misselects. But yeah, I mean, for browsing, it's okay, I guess. And the Dolphin browser, Google, and then joystick. Let me see, joystick. Oops. I find the Dolphin browser to be most responsive and most quick, and very responsive. So it really depends on the browser, and luckily on Android you have a lot of choice when it comes to browsing. Now you can see it responds really quickly. So Dolphin may actually be the best choice for browsing the web. And then a benchmark. I downloaded a benchmark that I use quite a bit, and that's Geekbench. I don't have any other benchmarks, but yeah, system information, ARCHOS Gamepad, Android 4.1.1, the ARM v7 at 1.161 gigahertz and 875 megabytes of memory. And just click run the benchmarks. So that's Geekbench is the only one that is running. And actually I will set this down because it's just running the benchmarks. And I will actually do the same with the Nexus 7. So the Nexus 7 has Android 4.2.1, an NVIDIA Tegra 330L at 1.30 gigahertz processor. Oh, I thought it was 1.2, but this is running 1.3. Okay, 974 megabytes of memory. Run the benchmarks. So both are actually running the benchmarks now, and I'll probably stop the video once they finish. Oh look, I don't stop the video. So the benchmark summary. Integer has, for integer it scores 818. For floating point it scores 1348. For memory it scores 1301, and for stream it scores 488. The total score, or the mean score, is a 1067. We will compare it with the Nexus in a bit. System information. The ARCHOS Gamepad, Android 4.1.1. Doi! Build, well, it has a build number. Motherboard is the RK30SDX, and well, it says all sorts of stuff. Processor ARM is ARM Implementer 65 Architecture 7 Variant 3 Part 3081 Revision 0. Integer performance, integer score. So probably we should compare. So benchmark summary 1067. On the Nexus 7 it's 1414. Integer performance is 1256 for the Nexus 7. Integer performance is 818. Most, yeah, the bars are actually quite similar. If you look at it like this, it's very hard to to show them both at the same time, I guess. Floating point performance is 1348 on the gamepad, and it's 2041. And some scores are more similar than others. Memory performance on the ARCHOS it says 1301, and on the Nexus it says 1201. So the memory is actually faster on the ARCHOS because read sequential. It says on the gamepad it says 559 megabytes per second, and on the Nexus it says 227. So actually it's yeah, it's a lot. It's almost thrice the speed. Write sequential is also faster. On the gamepad it is 1.46 gigabyte per second with a score of 2140, and write sequential on the Nexus is 132 gigabytes. Allocate, the ST-lib allocate is 2.16 mallocs per second, and the ST-lib allocate is 2.30 mallocs per second, so that's quite comparable again. ST-lib write is also quite comparable, and the ST-lib copy is also quite comparable. Stream performance seems to be higher on the ARCHOS as well. Single-threaded scalar stream is 661.7 megabytes per second, and the stream copy on the Nexus is 2.74 megabytes. So stream score is 488 on the gamepad, and it's 199 on the Nexus 7. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. It seems that streaming and memory is faster on the ARCHOS, but raw CPU performance and calculating stuff is faster on the gamepad. So yeah, kind of a speed comparison. I'm not an expert at Android benchmarking, so you know, with Geekbench I thought you get at least a sort of idea of the speed. So in a way, these devices are quite comparable. This has more raw calculus power, which actually is very good when it comes to doing all sorts of translation and emulation. So emulation is a bit better on this one. But this is not a bad device. It really is not a bad device. And I hope they fixed the memory button issue. So yeah, there you have it. Browsing and kind of a crappy speed comparison. Mark signing off, and I'll be back with this and this. See how emulation fares on the Nexus with the 8-bitty. Okay, Mark signing off.